Hi guys, thanks for stopping by. Mike here in my studio, getting ready to head out on Mike's journey of discovery, the Lewis and Clark Trail, a plein air painting adventure. And of course, to go on a plein air painting adventure, you've got to have some art supplies. So I thought that's what we'd go over today. I've got this open box, and I'm taking a watercolor kit as well as oil painting. I can get certain things done with one that I can't with the other, and each of them has its advantage and disadvantages, but I like painting in both of them. But let me show you my oil kit first. This is a Pelican case, and it's the kit is made by Open Box M. I just looked on their website and they're still in business. They started in '89, and I'm guessing I bought the kits. I've got three of them. I've got two watercolor kits and an oil painting kit, and I'm gonna guess maybe the mid '90s. So they're still in business, and but this is a palette and panel box. Now the panel storage portion of this is an 11 by 14 size kit. They make various sizes. You can go to their website. I'll put a link down below in the description. And so I can carry two panels in here, and when I paint them and they become wet paintings, I can put them back in there for storage. I'm just trying to do this at an odd angle because of the camera, but we'll try to get through it. And this is the palette, and I put a glass plate in mine so that I squirt the oil on it, and then when I'm done I can just scrape it off with a razor blade. The panels to paint on will go right up here. Now when I get this set up, it's got a tripod mount on the bottom. When I get this set up out in the field, I'll show you, demonstrate how it works. That's the quick change, quick release tripod mount. And of course, this has a convenient carrying handle and a strap that I can put over my shoulder and take off if I want. Now, along with the painting kit, I've got a milk crate with miscellaneous supplies in it. I've got my my brush wash. It's all contained with a lid on it. I do keep it in this little plastic bottom just in case it spills over. But I've got a Tupperware box in here with extra paint, and then a couple extra boxes of particular colors that I buy them three to a box. Then so that's gonna go, and then of course we've got to have something to paint on, and another milk crate with some panels in it. I've got two different kinds of panels. This one is one that I make up. This is a gator board, gator foam gator board, and I use a Belgian linen that I adhere to it. I do have a couple commercial made panels in here. This is one by Ampersand. It's got a gesso surface on it. I think I got that from dickblick.com. Every Cheap Joe's, Jerry's Artorama, they all carry them. This is another one, Centurion. Get the reflection off of that. and it has a linen, commercial made linen on a board. So that goes. Now that's a lot of panels, and part of the reason is I don't know how much I'm gonna need. I'd rather have too much than not enough. You know, I plan on being out there a month or 6 weeks on the trail. I've got no idea whether I can get it all done in that period of time, but that's the amount of time that I've allotted to go as far as I can within that period of time. And so I want to have enough. I'm guessing I'll probably do a couple paintings a day, maybe an oil and a watercolor each. I won't know until I get out there and get started. But I want to have enough panels. Now, the watercolor version of this case, it's again a Pelleton case. It's a open box end, but I did mark it with a WC on here just so I could tell the difference when I pick them up. Opens the same. In this one, I've got a plastic collapsible water container that I can hang off the side of the palette. I've got some masking tape that'll tape my paper to a board that I'll show you in a minute. I like to keep my brushes, the watercolor brushes, I like to keep them in this bamboo case, because when they're wet, this will allow air to circulate still, and they can dry out. The oil painting case, I can keep my handful of brushes in there, as well as some palette knives. This is the palette and panel holder for the watercolor. Again, it has a quick release mount on the bottom to set up on the tripod. And then I've got my metal Holbein watercolor palette and a little sponge. And so this is all self-contained. There's a brush holder as well as in the oil kit, and that'll mount on the side of the palette. This also, I don't have it in here right now, but this also has a carrier that I can slip a pad of paper in. And in fact, maybe I'll see if I can find that real quick. There you go. The reason I don't keep it in there, because see, it'll fit right in there. The reason I don't is because this space in the lid generally gets taken up with these items here. So I close it up, and again, I'm good to go. Now, for paper, I've got a portfolio here. Watercolor paper, you've got two options essentially. You can put a pad or use a block. The difference between a pad and a block is that a block sides are glued, and there's a little slit up here that the glue is not, so you can stick something in there and peel your page off when you're done with it. The other option is to get sheets of watercolor paper, and I'm currently using a Saunders Waterford 140-pound cold press. And watercolor sheets will come 22 by 30, and you can paint a full sheet, which is known as a full sheet watercolor, or you can paint, cut them in half, paint a half sheet. What I like to do for my plein air work is cut them in quarters, and this comes out, and I tape it to this board. That's with the masking tape that I showed you earlier. For me, this is a good size to work in. And it measures about 10 by 14. Now the gem of my kits is this little guy, and the quality of this is just so, it's like a little piece of furniture. This walnut, I just love it. And the brass fittings, trim. This is also made by Open Box End, and it's designed to be a palm box. And if you loosen up, I don't use it for that, but if you, it to me is just a little bit heavy. Loosen up this leather strap, and theoretically you can reach under and hold it in your hand and paint. Again, like I said, this is just a little heavy for me, so I went ahead and put another one of those quick releases that I can mount it to my tripod. It has space in the top here for one of those little watercolor blocks. That's a Lexan product again. The pads mount right up here. So whether I'm on the tripod, or I can set this down on my lap, or I can on a table in front of me or something, and set these adjustments and paint right there. Here's my, again, a Holbein watercolor palette. Great product. They sell these also, Open Box End does. I've got two of these. I've got a watercolor and a gouache. For a water container, I've got this little collapsible rubber, and I've got no idea where I got it. I don't remember. I had it for years. But I was in the dog food store the other day, and I happened to see this. And it's a water bowl for dogs, a collapsible one. And I really like this. I think I'm going to like it. I like the idea because it's a little larger. It collapses, and it is flat when it collapses. And I can lay it in here, and it doesn't take up as much space. So I'm hoping to use this one when taking the larger kits is not practical. I do use this one on my motorcycle a lot. I've got a leather bag that I put it in, and I can take off. Now, any expedition adventure artist worth his salt has to have a sketch bag. Here's mine. Now, I found something. I'm going on the Lewis and Clark Trail, so we're thinking historic, right? And I found this at a little shop in Uray, Colorado. Look at the binding. A leather cased sketchbook. And it's got handmade paper. I could not believe it when I found it. And I did a little cover page identifying who I am with my phone number on there in case I misplace this or somebody finds it somewhere where it shouldn't be. So I'm gonna try that. My working sketchbook is like this one here, and there's a watercolor that I did on the old Spanish Trail about this time, well, March of last year, and that's on the Cajon Pass, Mormon Rocks on the Cajon Pass in California on the old Spanish Trail. Little watercolor pen and ink type thing. Here's another case of brushes. I forgot to show you in the other one the little brushes that I've got, but these are Jack Richardson travel set of brushes. Convenient. And another little case I've got here. This is made by Josh Bean over in Salida, Colorado. You might know him. the prolificpainter.com. And what this is a no-tan sketch box. No-tan sketches are little black and white sketches that artists will do prior to committing to a larger painting. Gives us the opportunity to work out some values and some compositions. There's one that I did of a fisherman, and there's another one. I've got more on the wall over here in the studio. I'll take a little video clip and show you. These are some of those no-tan sketches I was referring to earlier. Again, just some basic concept. That's one of the little 6x9 watercolors from that watercolor block, those small ones. Again, that was painted on location. And again, a few more of those little no-tans. Sometimes they work into paintings and sometimes they don't. And what you draw those with, these are Prismacolor grayscale markers. Yeah, there you go. prolificpainter.com. Josh has got these. This little something that he invented. It's a pen with a little white ball on the top. And you use this to judge where your light is coming from. Light and shadow, the highlights, the shadowed side of everything. So that comes with me. And I think that about, a lot of this will mean more once I get out in the field and start using it. And then you'll be able to see how it's done. So I'm gonna get this loaded up. This is Saturday. I'm headed out Monday, and so I'm getting close. I got to get everything I'd like to get everything loaded today, so that tomorrow and Sunday kind of relax and think about anything I might have forgotten. Thanks for stopping by, and remember, stay curious, my friends. I'll see you out there somewhere.